Greetings to all of you who are tuning in to our Inner Light Ministries Sunday service this day. Welcome, welcome. Whether this is your first time with us or whether you've been with us many times virtually or in person, know that you are part of our spiritual community, our spiritual family. I'm the Reverend Deborah Johnson. We are streaming out of the Santa Cruz area. This area is still doing the shelter in place. So we are actually streaming this time out of my office. I am proud to say, though, that beginning next week on May the 24th, we will be streaming back out of our sanctuary. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'll say more about that at the end. But welcome to Inner Light. We have a vision of a world that is spiritually fulfilling, that is socially, environmentally sustainable, and that is a just world. That's our vision. Inner Light Ministries is an omni-faith outreach ministry dedicated to spiritual transformation. We provide tools for living that encourage the practical application to all of life's circumstances. Our aim is healing through the energy of love and the revealing of our own inner light. And as an omni-faith ministry, we embody spiritual oneness. We appreciate individualized expressions, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Let's just breathe that in for a moment. No dogma, no doctrine, no creed. Wherever you are, whatever your practice is, whether you are steeped in a particular religious tradition, whether you consider yourself an atheist, doesn't matter. You're welcome, part of this community. What I love about us, one of the things I love about us the most is how radically, and I mean radically, inclusive we are. That's the way that the world is. There's room enough for all of us. And if we can't figure this out in spiritual community, I don't know how we ever figure it out in the political environment. So we come together across all kinds of traditions, orientations, races, creeds, nationalities, origins, perspectives of life, political affiliations, gender identities, family structures, and here we are. Here we are. It is my absolute pleasure to invite into our space one of the most phenomenal musicians that I know of. I normally do the introductions later, but I'd like to do it now, up front. One of the upsides of this sheltering in place and having everything being virtual is that we've been able to be in co-ministry with many individuals outside of the area that we ordinarily might not have access to because of whatever reasons, their travel schedules, finances, any number of reasons why we might not have been able to do that. So for the past 4 weeks or so, we've been actually taking advantage of that and bringing in some of our favorites. And Nadine Parks is certainly amongst our favorites. And I'm telling you now, as I read her bio, that if you are driving, and I'm really serious, if you're driving, you may just want to pull over for a few minutes. And I'll read her bio to give you a chance to pull over because Nadine's about to hypnotize us with the quality and the tonality of her voice. She sings inside Egyptian pyramids, and you're going to think that you're in one in a couple of minutes. So about Nadine Parks. From ancient world-inspired chants to uplifting contemporary pop, Nadine inspires a deep connection to one's soul through music. She's appeared at the Kennedy Center with Placido Domingo, has opened for the likes of Sheryl Crow and Ben Vereen, and is a frequent guest at concert halls and premier venues around the world. She has spent the last 20 years chanting, singing in the pyramids and the temples of Egypt, atop Machu Picchu, and has been a special guest of swamis in India, just to name some of the things that she's been involved with. Nadine is an intricate member of Singers Taking Action Reaching Souls, referred to as STARS. They were founded by the Motown legend, Harvey Fuqua, who introduced the world to Marvin Gaye and the Spinners. This international vocal ensemble, STARS, performs throughout Africa, Asia, and the US, uplifting people through the power of music. Nadine is also the proud mom of 9-month-old twin boys, Dakota Anthony and Cheyenne Anthony. That it's a new meaning to having one's hands full.
Yes, it is. And a blessing.
Yeah.
A blessing.
With a boy in each hand.
That's right.
Her music is available to download from her website, NadineRisha.com. You can also find her work on iTunes. Nadine, welcome to Inner Light.
Thank you, Rev. I'm just so honored to be here with you. Thank you for having me. I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada, sending love out to the World Wide Web and everybody that's a part of this beautiful service and sharing the great vibrations of Inner Light. And thank you so much for having me. So I would like to open up with a chant. So if you feel inspired to pull over, if you're driving, hopefully you're not driving and watching this, and just close your eyes if you wish. And let's experience the power of sacred sound. This is a chant called Sacred Stones. It's an invocation of Christ consciousness, a moment for us to be acutely present to our higher self and to commune with ourself. Namaste. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadrasham Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham. Amen. Dominus illuminatio me. Amen. Dominus illuminatio me. Amen. Vishnu, 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 Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadrasham Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadrasham Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Amen. Namaste.
Let's all just breathe that in. Thank you, that sacred offering. You're just joining us. That was Nadine Parks. What a way to open sacred space with that song, Sacred Stone. And you know, not only do I love that song, but I always have fond memories of it because the very first time I ever saw you, Nadine, that's the song that you sang. When I first met you at the ordination ceremony of one of my colleagues, Reverend Andrea Earl, when Heart and Soul was just starting in the Oakland area. And you sang that song, and I was just absolutely spellbound. It's like, whoever she is, we have to have her at Inner Light. And it's been years since we've had an affiliation. And I say, Thank you for that. This month, our theme is abundance. It's abundance. Every month, we focus on a spiritual quality and what it is that we need to do to embody that. And then every week, we have a set of, they're really activations. We refer to them as affirmations, but they're really activations. We're going to put them on the screen, and I would like for you to read along with me, soak it in. You're going to find them on our website. They will also be posted there, on Facebook. But they are an opportunity for you to embody. Okay? Don't think of it as just random words. These phrases are frequencies that you need to resonate with at such a level that you, at a deeper level, can actually manifest that quality because you have further become that quality. So, our topic for today is the good I seek is seeking me. Our theme is abundance. The topic is the good I seek is seeking me. Universal abundance is forever flowing through me. I am an open channel of divine goodness. Nowhere is there a blockage. All impediments are cleansed away. My life forever reflects the sea of enoughness in which I live. Lack and limitation cannot dock on my shores. All things are working together for my good. The good I seek is seeking me. I release all resistances to being a great giver in life. The more I give, the more I receive. The more I receive, the more I become joy through my giving. My cup runneth over. I live in the overflow. Just breathe that in for a moment. Yes. And before the message for the day, I'm going to invite Nadine Parks to come back and give us another inspirational message through music.
Thank you, Rev. Thank you so much. This particular song is calling to my heart for the moment of our planet. It is called When You Believe. Many nights we prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. But now we're not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve When you believe, somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proves in vain, hope seems like the summer bird too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here, my heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe, somehow you will. You will when you believe. Oh, they don't always happen when you ask, no. And it's easy to give in to your fears. But when you're blinded by your pain, can't see your way straight through the rain, a small but still resilient voice says hope is very near. When you believe, though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe, somehow you will. Yes, somehow you will. You will when you believe. You will when you
Mm, mm, mm. We just need to breathe that in again. Woo! Thank you, Nadine. When you hit those high notes, oh, it's like a shockwave that goes down. And yes, when we believe, let's just all take a breath. Our theme this month is abundance. And our topic today is the good you seek is seeking you. The good I seek is seeking me. Let's let that sink in for a moment. The good that you seek is seeking you. So often we think of abundance from a quantitative standpoint, particularly materialistically. We want stuff, whatever that stuff is, material things, relationships, financial security, whatever. And we're busy chasing after those things. And so often we're chasing after that or any of the spiritual qualities because we think that if we can just get their manifestations it'll make us that thing. So when I can get the symbols of abundance, then I can feel abundant. When I get the symbols of success, then I can feel like I'm success. When I get the symbols of love, then I can feel like I'm loved. And what we need to remember, whether it's about abundance or anything, that the only thing that ever needs to be healed is just a sense of separation. That's all. It's just a sense of separation. And particularly when it comes to abundance, there's a knowing sense that the ego self will often have of not enoughness. Not enoughness. So it's looking for things, it's looking for stuff to kind of fill up that gap. But if you're really working with a sense of not enoughness, then there are not enough material things in the world that are ever going to make you feel like you are enough. And it's kind of interesting where if you're really steeped in that sense of not enoughness, the more you get, the more afraid you'll be of it leaving and still not having enough. See, getting the external expressions, getting the external manifestations have never filled that hole within us of making us feel that we are enough. See, enough isn't in the ledger sheet. Enough isn't something you can find on the calendar. Enough isn't something that you can store in a location or put away in your lockbox. Enough is consciousness. Enough is a feeling tone. Enough is an energy field. It's a presence. Enough is an identity. Let that sink in for a moment. Enough is an identity. It's a way of perceiving yourself. It's a way of perceiving the world that's not based upon external markers whatsoever. This place of enough comes from identity. It comes from the awareness that you are first and foremost a spiritual being, not just a human being that life is happening at or to, but a spiritual being that life is happening through. You're a verb. You're not a noun. You are a verb. You are life in motion. And that feeling of enoughness comes when we are aware of that. We are part of the great I am. By any name that you want to call it, however it is that you want to describe it, it's when we know we are connected to that. That's when we start to have the sense of enoughness. So the good that I seek is seeking me. Sometimes you hear this phrase, fake it till you make it. Sometimes we say, in perhaps a more enlightened way, act as if. And in either way, sometimes people will feel fraudulent in some kind of way. Well, if I know that I don't have enough money, isn't it silly or stupid or fraudulent to claim that I do? If I know that I have this illness, how can I speak these words that I'm healthy? Isn't that a contradiction of the truth that I know? It's not a contradiction of the truth, the capital T, but it is going to fly in the face of your experience. See, your experience isn't necessarily the truth. The experience is your narration of the circumstances and the conditions that you've gone through, and it is your narration. that creates your sense of the I am or not. So what do you identify with? Do you identify more with the circumstances and the conditions? Do you identify more with the lack and the limitation than you do yourself as a prosperous spiritual being because you are part of the I am? Do you identify more with the illness in your body temple than you do with the fact that you were perfectly and wondrously made? Which do you identify with more? What do you identify with more? Because we will manifest at the level of our identity. See, the idea of quote unquote fake it till you make it or act as if, this isn't about being an imposter. What it is saying as take a look at your life, take a look at who you are, take a look at what you are doing and recalibrate. Shift your vibrational tone and energy field so that you are resonating with what you want to manifest, so that you are resonating with the power and the frequency of the spiritual qualities that are underneath all the things that you're trying to manifest. The quote unquote fake it till you make it, the act as if, is about being. It's about being. What would you do if you already had it? How would you act? What would you say? What would you do? If you were in that loving relationship, what would your house look like? How would you dress? We're sitting around waiting for something to happen instead of being in it. And it may seem like I'm picking trivial things, but I am calling my own self out right now. So I grew up in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is a very, fast-paced, competitive environment. And folks are always climbing the ladder, trying to get here, trying to get there. So I've lived in Santa Cruz the past 30 years. Santa Cruz laid back. This is a beach town on the Monterey Bay. Suit, tie, briefcase. They don't roll like that here. And what I've noticed is that my wardrobe keeps getting a little bit more casual. That my wardrobe doesn't have the sense of upward mobility that I used to have when I was in Los Angeles. And that can look like anything to anybody. But the piece of this that I want to get at for myself isn't so much the cloth or the clothing, because I know that doesn't make the person. But there's this subtle thing that I'll do in my mind before I get dressed in the morning. I'll look at my day and think, well, what's going to happen? How, quote unquote, dressed up do I need to be? And there's this internal phrase that I will use. I don't often articulate it, but the internal phrase will be, nothing's happening today. Listen to that. Nothing's happening today. So I don't have to go that extra mile, like in my appearance thing or whatever. And unbeknownst to myself, I'm sending a signal out there in that moment for nothing to happen. For nothing to happen. And now it's to a point where I'm going, you know what? I remember when we first started Agape, and we had this little bitty office. Little bitty, itty bitty office. And Beckwith, Michael Bernard Beckwith, who was the founder of Agape, dude would come in clean. 3-piece suit, cuff, length, boom. And we used to say, dude, where are you going? Like, where are you going? And I got it. It's like I look back at that and I look at his success and what's happened over the past 35 years since then. is it there was this sense of preparation of something happening, an expectation of something happening. See, the good you seek is seeking you. How are you resonating? How are you vibrating? If, let's just say, you want to be a dancer or you want to be a musician or something like that, and there's something coming through the way, there's some company that's coming through, there's some troupe that's coming through that are looking for musicians, they're looking for dancers. Okay. What about you says, it's me? What about you is screaming out? Because they're looking for people who are ready. They're looking for people who are playing the game. If you're sitting on the sidelines complaining that nobody's discovered you or nobody's watched you or you never get a break and why should I keep practicing and doing all this? I'm not making any money at it, blah, blah, blah. When those little it's like a little signal radar out there. When the good is looking for something, for everything that you want, there's the counterpart. I remember really getting this when I first got published. And this feeling like, well, who's going to want to publish, my book and blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, whoa, wait a minute. There's a whole field called publishers. There's a whole field. That's what they do. They are constantly looking for new authors. They are constantly looking for new product. Whatever that is, there's always the counterpart that's looking. Are you resonating with that? Are you being that? Are you prepared for that energetically? Are you a place of receptivity? Because the good you seek is seeking you. You don't even have to be aware of it, but are you just ready for it? I'm thinking now, even around this center, things that I would have never even thought of. I remember the day when Bob and Jane Mangles came and said that they had $3,000 worth of plants and that they wanted to plant them around the sanctuary. They used to own this nursery, and for various reasons, they had to take the nursery back, and they had been trying to sell these plants in the flea market. And if these plants weren't sold, they were going to die. And they did this map out, this like landscape pattern, and said, we'll plant it, we'll water the stuff, we'll keep it going, for like the first 6 months and make sure that it really takes. And it's like, whoa, we really needed the shrubbery. We had a place that was empty that needed, somebody had the plant and they came. I don't care whether it's been whatever, pianos, just like material stuff, it works this way. Whatever it is that you think that you need, there is somebody somewhere that has that. It's out there in the universe. I love the way that I think it was Deepak Chopra put it. Where is it going to come from? It's going to come from wherever it is now. The only thing that you have to do is to make sure that you don't keep putting excuses out there for why not you. Why don't come up with that? Well, I don't have an education. Well, I messed up my credit. Well, I'm too old. I'm too young. Blah, blah, blah. I'm this, I'm that. That's the not enoughness. You don't have to know where it's going to come from. You don't have to know why. Just stand in it. Just stand in it. Don't worry about the prerequisites. Am I going to have the money for it? Am I going to have, you don't know how it's going to come into your life. You don't know how. I look around here. I remember when this firm came and they painted the exterior of the buildings because they wanted to gift us. So they went to a paint company to see if the paint company would donate it. And the paint company said, yeah, they would donate it. And that the only thing that they wanted in exchange was to be fed. It was like, okay. So then we got some of our best chefs to cook the owners of the paint company a meal. It's not a distribution problem. It's not a supply problem. It's a distribution problem. There is enough. But are you claiming that enoughness for yourself? Or are you paying more attention to all the reasons why you think it can't happen? See, it's about you. It's about you. You want that loving relationship. Are you acting in an unconditionally loving way to be the resonance? See, that's what it means when we say fake it till you make it, act as if. What we're saying is go through the practice. Do the drill so much like you were an athlete or something, or you were a piano player, where you've done the scales so much that they are second nature to you. You've done it so much that you have now become that. Don't wait until the outer manifestation. Stand in it now. Be it now. Do it now. Do it now. Resonate, recalibrate, shift your frequency so that you become the embodiment of it. I got instructed today to close out sharing with you some excerpts from a letter called Abundance that shows up in volume 2 of my Letters from the Infinite series. The book is called Your Deepest Intent. Your Deepest Intent. And this is the letter that's called Abundance. Abundance. And I'm going to be reading from the last part of this. Now, this was a letter that actually came to the Inner Light spiritual community. And it felt like this is juicy timing to remind ourselves of this. Okay, so this is the end of the letter. It says, the secret to your abundance is to know the I am of your being. The secret to your abundance is to know that you just are. And because you are, that is enough. All of the external manifestations exist out of the isness of your being. The outer expressions are just the byproducts, the residuals, the outpicturing of the vibratory patterns of your beingness. Claim who you are. Claim who you are. Affirmations are wonderful, but you're claiming the wrong things in your affirmations. You're claiming the stuff. Claim you. Claim you. Claim you and the truth of your being. Claim your oneness with me. Claim your oneness with all spiritual qualities. Claim your divine birthright. Claim your spiritual DNA. Claim your essence, not just your experience. Claim who you are, not just your outer expressions. Claim who you are in me more than you claim who you are in the world. Just claim. The stuff will come. But if you're trying to claim the stuff without knowing who you are in me, you'll be chasing stuff forever. And it will always seem to run a little bit faster than you. You will never catch up. It will appear as though you are constantly bombarded with obstacles. Know who you are. Know who you are. Know who you are. You are special in me, in my eyes. Each and every one of you has a life filled with meaning and purpose. It is my pleasure to support you in your life, your meaning, and your purpose. Say yes to your life. Say yes to your meaning and your purpose, and you will have more support than you can ever imagine. You complain so much about not being supported, not being abundant, but you're trying to be supported and abundant in things that aren't necessarily the reasons why you're here. You are afraid. You often substitute people, places, and things for your true purpose because you think you're not enough to be able to live the life that I've given you. Many of you don't even think that you're enough to be able to find out what the life is that I have given you. What sometimes looks to you like a lack of support is just a lack of collusion. I'm going to say that again. What sometimes looks to you like a lack of support is just a lack of collusion. I am not an enabler of lack and limitation. I will not be your codependent. I will not co-sign your contract to not be who it is that I have ordained you to be. I created the I am of your being. I created who you are, and who you are is enough. Who you are is good. Who you are is beautiful. Who you are is magnificent. Who you are is glorious. Who you are is who I am. Are you willing to be who you are? Are you willing to claim who you are beyond all of the appearances? Will you know that your good is right where you are? Will you give up looking for your good behind door number 1, door number 2, door number 3? And know that your good is in the recesses of your being. Will you stop looking for people, places, and things to give you a break, an opportunity, and know that access to my goodness is yours just because you are? I say these things individually and collectively. And I say this now especially to you, my dear Reverend daughter Deborah. Stop looking around to see who has enough money to restructure the debt of the Inner Light Center. There is a way in which all of you are always looking for who has enough to get you where you need to go. Claim who you are. Claim who you are as a poet, a prophet, a preacher, a progressive woman in the world. Claim who this ministry is. All of you need to stop looking for who's going to finance this ministry. You will. You will. You will when you say yes. When you say to your great calling as a spiritual movement, the heavens and the earth will rush its resources to you. You will have the staff. You will have the programs. You will have the compensations. You will have the influence. You will have the presence in the world when you say yes to the I am of this ministry, to the I am of your being, to the I am of your oneness with each other, to the I am of your oneness with me. Ordinarily, I would say at this point in the message, Think on these things. Be these things, my children. You think about a lot of things that you never embody. Be the I am of your being. And know that in the I am of your being, all is well. Let's just breathe that in. That was a prayer all by itself. And so it is.
I am the feather blowing in the wind. I am the falcon flying through the clouds. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. I am a mystic, I am flying free. I am the one who overcomes the dream. I roll like the thunder of God's epic scheme. I move like a river going out to sea. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for that. Whew, let's just breathe that in. And I invite you in this moment right now to demonstrate your sense of yourself as enough, to be in the enoughness, to be a great giver in life. It's extremely important that we always support that which supports us. You'll see on your screen, there are some opportunities and ways that you can support this ministry. You can do so online. If you're on our website, there's donate buttons right there. If you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, it's very easy. Just paypal.me/Inner Ministries, just our name, paypal.me/Inner Ministry. If you want to text, that's easy too at 831-667-5051. 831-667-5051. Recurring pledges, we need those ongoing donations. We definitely need them. And we encourage you to do that. You can do them monthly at tinyurl.com/ILM New Pledge. You'll see that there on your screen. I know that these are tough times for so many people with the COVID-19 pandemic. And I just want to say a special shout out to anyone who is suffering through illness, people who might have lost someone. If you're suffering financially or your business, your employment, know that we're in your prayers. We are with you. And please avail yourself of our prayer service as well. You can call us at 831-465-9090 at extension 254. That's 831-465-9090, extension 254. You can also email us the number 4 prayer at innerlightministries.com. It doesn't matter what the issue is. And it doesn't have to be stress either. That now is a time where a lot of people's creative juices are flowing and they're launching new ventures and stepping out in new territory. Let us stand with you in agreement as well. We do have some support things that are available. At 11 a.m. Monday through Saturday, we have a coffee, chat, prayer, and inspiration. It's hosted by our Inner Light practitioners. You can see information there about how to participate with that. It's Zoom. The Women of Wisdom, the WOW group, Women 60 Plus, they are now meeting every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. via Zoom. You can catch them at SC Smiles at Comcast.net. SC Smiles at Comcast.net. And every Thursday also at noon, our Second Harvest food distribution food bank is open. And I say thank you to all of the volunteers who come and help to make that happen. There's free food. Anybody who wants it, anybody who needs it, pick it up for yourself, pick it up for somebody else, deliver it to somebody who maybe can't get out right now. Please avail yourself of this. We have it nice and clean and spaced out well. We're taking all the precautionary measures to make it as safe as an experience as possible. Please avail yourself of that. Next week, we're going to be streaming out of our pulpit again. And I am very pleased that we're bringing part of the band back. So Etienne France is going to be the musical inspiration. He's also going to be accompanied by Russell Kreitman. Etienne is our band leader, and he's our bassist, and Russell Kreitman is our piano player. So we're glad to be back in co-ministry with them. And the following Sunday, on May 31st, the incomparable Tammy Brown will be our musical inspiration. She has such an exquisite voice. She's also on our staff as our accountant, and we welcome her into our Sunday service as well. So Nadine, will you give us a closing song, please?
Yes, I just want to say, first of all, thank you. You always, Rev, include me to co-minister with you versus being a hired musician or just the music on the side. And just to give everyone at home a little background information, she said, be in the flow with what you want to sing. And listening to your message, I heard a song that I wasn't planning on singing.
Go for it.
And good thing that we're doing music out of a box, so the band won't be mad at me because I changed the song at the last minute. But as you were saying, to be in the resonance, to raise our vibration, to be in that frequency, that's all that I've been thinking about during this time with this pandemic, and that it's very important and essential for all of us to be in love, praise, and gratitude constantly, to keep ourselves into that high vibration where no sickness, and sickness being, whether it be a virus or sickness being no money or sickness, whatever the dis-ease be, that if our vibration is high, as you were saying, then nothing can touch us. Yeah. And so with that, This is the song.
All right, let's do it.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. It's too late for second guessing. It's too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes, and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity. It'll never bring me down. I'm through accepting limits because someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love. I guess I'd lost. But if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I'd sooner buy defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity. It'll never bring me down. Unlimited. Together we're unlimited. Together we'll be the greatest team there's ever been. Spirit, dreams the way you plan them. If we work in tandem, there's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I defying gravity. I think we'll try defying gravity. It'll never bring us down. So if you dare to find me, look toward the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. To those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I am defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity, and soon I'll match them in renown. There's nothing in all the world, no virus that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. Oh.
Yes. Yes. Ow. Oh, I play that song on a regular basis. Oh. Now that's an amen. Woo! Thank you, Nadine Parks. You want to check her stuff out. Check out her website. Check her out on iTunes. Let us take this consciousness and multiply it.